guys, welcome back for another weekly Stitch with me. It is cold, wet and extremely windy here in the UK today. I think we've got the tail end of a storm, quite possibly. I'm surprised Binks even went out. He's a very scaredy cat and he doesn't like loud noises or bangs, or just even Riley running around the house freaks him out. So, but yeah, it's horrible here. I can't remember how much I've told you regarding the kids' school. I know I've had an email, but I can't remember if I ever mentioned it. I can't even remember what day we got it. We got a letter, so we emailed them and then we got an email back. But they've said we have to go for a meeting at some council place in our town centre. But we've emailed them and said, look, we've literally not been out since last March, I think. It has been a year. You know, we've done well to not catch it up till now. And we don't want to come to a meeting and, you know, have to leave the kids at home or leave the kids with somebody, because that means someone coming in our house, and we've avoided that. Even my family don't come round. They know. So we probably won't be attending a meeting. But then the email we got back said that it would be liable to be taken to court and that they wouldn't have to let us know that it was going to court. It would just go and that would be that. But that's silly, because that doesn't, you know, allow us to put our points of view across as to why the kids aren't at school. I mean, we only had an email Saturday. I apologise if I knock you guys. I can see the camera slightly shaking out the corner of my eye. Anyway, yeah, Saturday email. It wasn't until 7 o'clock in the evening. Now, bearing in mind the schools obviously aren't open on a Saturday, but it was saying that 3 pupils had all tested positive, which then affected 144 pupils, 4 staff, who've all now got to self-isolate for 14 days. And because it was 3 pupils, it's classed as an outbreak. But they didn't tell anyone until Saturday. That was just a bit weird. Whoops, too far. Surely they would have known on the Friday.
Did it say what year
group? I think it was year 8 and year 9. I mean, Ellie and Tyler aren't even in them years, but the problem you've got is, who's to say, you know, they didn't cough into their hand at some point, and then they haven't washed their hands, and then they've gone and touched some surfaces. You know, it's so easily spread. It doesn't just necessarily affect the 1 year group. But anyway, so we're not sending them back still. So we've just got to wait and see what happens now.
What, so everyone else is still at school then?
Just year 8s and 9s have got to stay at home.
How does that work?
I don't know. Obviously one of them was in year, 1 or 2 of them was in year 7, and the same in year 8. No, year 8 and 9. Because there was 3.
Well, did they get a real test, or did they just get a school test?
I have no idea. They don't tell you them things.
Because the school test isn't accurate.
Well, no test is 100%, so. But anyway, Apart from that, life's been pretty normal. Normal as in normal for us anyway. We're all still well, so
That's good.
yeah. Ellie's getting on with her school assignments. So I've not let up on their schoolwork at all. Wouldn't dream of it. Education is important. And that's one thing the letter said as well, you know. Schooling from home is not a long-term option. I never said it was. I agree, it's not a good long-term option. You know, we do push the kids, but there's only so much you can teach them at home. It isn't like being in school, I get that. I don't disagree. But at the end of the day, if I was sending my kids into a dangerous or harmful situation, they'd take the kids off me. But because I'm trying to keep them at home away from risk, shall we say, I'm still being persecuted. I think every parent, as a parent, should have the right to decide whether they send their kids to school or not during this.
Why don't you just homeschool us then? Go out of school.
Because Tyler's in year 10, I couldn't do that. Because he's only got another year after that before his... Well, no. Yeah, the year after he's got his exams, so...
I haven't.
No. But if I pull you out of school, I risk losing your place.
I mean, just homeschooling.
Just do your work. I'm not homeschooling. I did it once. That was awful.
For like 2 years.
No, it was a year and a half.
Almost.
No, that was bad enough.
At least there was some new homeschooling in them.
Anyway, I hope you guys have been having a great week so far. Mine was a bit... I don't know, yesterday I had no motivation whatsoever. I got my cross stitch out ready to stitch and I don't know. I didn't have the motivation to pick it up and actually work on it. So I think I put 3 stitches in yesterday and put it back away. Yeah.
It's 3 stitches closer to finishing.
Well, not that 3 stitches makes much difference in a piece this size, but you know, every stitch counts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a head full of Fortnite songs because Riley's obsessed with playing them on YouTube. So when this video's done, I'm headphones on, he can have the telly, and I'll catch up on my floss tubes because I am behind. Hey?
Don't leave me with him, he's annoying.
So, has anybody been out to anything exciting?
No, I have.
Schoolwork.
Yeah.
She's doing all about RE at the minute and Islam and Muslims and rather her than me. I hated RE at school. Absolutely hated it.
I think the 2 least favourite lessons are science and geography.
Yeah, I didn't get on with geography. Wasn't my thing. That's why I ditched it in year 10.
What you can pick.
Yeah.
For the title.
I think Tyler's choice was history and geography. He had to pick one of the two, so he picked history.
I'd pick history. Geography's boring.
Yep.
Would wife begin with a capital?
No,
Why is it saying it does?
I don't know. Because it's not a title. Well, I suppose it is. But Mrs. is the title. So I don't know. Silence, man. I've had no silence all morning.
Gotta enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh no. I got a knot. I've been stitching on this morning and part of this afternoon already. And I haven't had one knot. I put the camera on and I've got two already. Just... It's about my luck, that is. Let's move this across. I got all my threads mixed up the other day and I was in a right tears was. I was stitching this one, I think, and I needed another colour. Well, because I work on the Amazing Animal Kingdom, Careless Cross Stitch quite often, I leave the threads out where I can just easily reach them and crack on. Well, I have no idea how, but my World of Disney thread bag, because I haven't got any bobbins at the minute, ended up switched with the Amazing Animal Kingdom, and I went to look for a colour and it wasn't in there. And then as I started going through the bag, it was like some of the colours were needed and some of them weren't even in the cross stitch, and I just, not number 3. Yeah, it just really baffled my brain. Took me about 10 minutes to figure out that I'd got the wrong bag. Got it. I've been working on the light yellow this morning. Oh my gosh. That was annoying. She can barely see it. There's a few stitches just there. It's like very pale yellow. Very. And when you're stitching with it, it's so hard to see. But I started stitching with it this morning and I decided I wasn't going to do my video until I'd finished all that colour, because you just can't see me stitching it. It's the only downside to light colours on light fabric. Your arm's dead. You're lucky. When I was your age, we didn't have computers. We had to write everything out by hand.
That's even worse.
You thought you got a heartache?
Your fingers always set after a while of writing.
Yep. It's the tension you have on your pen that causes your wrist to hurt.
What, like the grip?
Yeah.
How does Tyler crack his fingers?
I don't know. I hate the fact he cracks his fingers. It goes straight through me. It's a cringy noise. Well, it's a cringe-worthy noise, that is. Cracking bones. I don't even have to try. I only have to walk up the stairs and my hips, my knees and my ankles are all clicking away.
Ow.
Okay.
How does he do it?
I don't know. He just does.
To my pinky. He can do it with his toes as well, just weird. How does it not hurt?
I don't think it's so much that it hurts. It's the cringe, like the noise from the noise.
Yeah.
It's not so much pain. It's just like, ugh.
I hate watching them people that pop bones back into place.
Wrong one.
What is it called?
No, it's not the wrong one.
Popping bones back into place.
Yes, it is the wrong one. Dislocations.
I can't stand them popping it back into place. It just doesn't sit right.
The pop. No. I can't listen to that either. If I'm watching an ambulance programme and they're going, right, we're going to pop it back in now. My hands are straight over my ears. I don't want to hear it. I'm sitting there going, la, 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 la. I really hate it. I can deal with blood. I can deal with big wounds. But I cannot deal with dislocations. I'd be no good as a nurse.
Nope.
Well, I would, for everything else.
Besides that.
Yep. I have to walk around with a big pair of ear defenders on.
Just watching it looks weird.
I know.
Just a bone back into place is...
I say I've never dislocated anything. I think I have, but it's gone straight back in when I've done it. My ankle.
You still have them crutches as well.
I know. 2 years, I think 2 years ago, was it now?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it would have been about 3 years now. I've just forgot where I am now. Okay, I've just had a complete mental block. That's there. I'm in the wrong place. Yeah. Anyway. I rolled my ankle when I was stepping out the back door about 3 years ago.
That was beautiful.
And done with precision, that was. So my ankle rolled away from me and it actually felt like it dislocated and then slipped back into place again. Oh my gosh, the pain was horrendous. And when I got to A&E, they x-rayed and said I'd actually ripped the tendon off the bone and it had taken a tiny piece of bone with it. And I've done it once before on the left ankle, so both my ankles have done it now. When Reese was little, he had these little wooden bricks. Oh, he loved them bricks.
Did you step on them?
I did. It was in the middle of the living room floor and I just, not watching where I was going, stood on it. The brick rolled, so my ankle rolled and it actually felt like it popped out. And as I hit the floor, it straightened up again and popped back in.
Absolutely You not?
Yep. I tell you what, I think I'd rather go through labour than that pain again. Breaking my ankle. My gosh, did it bruise.
I bet it did. Wait, which one?
When I did the right one, when I broke it.
What, outside?
Mhm. It bruised.
I'll take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they gave me a set of crutches and said you need to. Is that Riley? Was that next door?
Next door.
Yeah, they said I need to use the crutches, but try and put a little bit of weight bearing on it. I couldn't even do that. Oh my goodness, every time I touched the floor, the pain just went straight through. I think it took me about 3 weeks to actually walk back on it again.
Special.
But they said use the crutches to help as long as you need.
It's all because of a cat as well.
I know. The cats can just fight and get on with it next time. I'm not rushing out because I got a permanent dent in my head as well.
Where?
Right there.
Ooh.
Because when I step outside my back door, right, my back door's on the side of my house.
2 sheds.
So you have to step out and then turn to the left. And right in front of you as you step out is my sheds. And as my ankles rolled, I've gone towards the shed. Head-butted the shed really hard. It didn't hurt, mind. Because the ankle was just screaming in pain. So the head didn't hurt. But like I only noticed a few months back that where I hit the shed, because I hit the shed right on the corner, perfect on the corner, I've got a permanent dent in my head now. So the brain still works, so that's all right. But I wouldn't want to do it again. Hell no. I'd rather give birth again. I've had a load of accidents, me. Sprained my ankles a million and one times when I was younger. My mum was forever at A&E with me. I say my mum, my granddad was as well. They took me in an ambulance from school once. My granddad met me at the hospital because my mum and dad were at work.
About what?
I was.
You don't take her from school in an ambulance.
Yeah, because they thought I broke my ankle then.
How?
I hadn't. I just severely sprained it.
How'd you do it?
I don't actually know. Similar thing. My ankle just rolled. I don't even know where that is now. Oh, there. Yeah. You know that moment where all your friends are laughing at you because you've just gone head over heels. They picked me up when they stopped laughing. They had to laugh first.
It's exactly what best friends do.
Oh, yeah.
They laugh and then they help you up.
Yep. Yeah. If it wasn't sprains, it was cuts. I remember one year, oh my gosh, it had snowed and me and my brother had gone out. He was being silly, throwing snow at me, and I was being silly. Anyway, he went to throw, put a snowball at me, and I legged it. The only problem was I tripped, fell, and head-butted a rock that was under some snow. Oh my God, the gash above my eyebrow was awful. But my mum saw to it. She glued me back together. But she knew it wasn't going to be the last time. Trying to think what else I've done. Fell off my brother's bike as well. He told me not to get on his bike. Yeah. The park where we used to go quite a lot, it had a football, basketball court one side and a park the other. And if you wanted to go on the basketball courts, there was a little ramp. At the side of that ramp was the path to the park. So I took his bike to the top of this ramp with the intention of getting on it and riding it. It came at my needle. Riding it down the ramp. Only my brother had these, because it was a racer, he had these things on his pedals that you slide your feet into so your feet don't come out when you're cycling.
Yeah.
Only I put my feet in.
You fell over.
Went to pedal, but I wasn't fast enough. The bike tipped and I fell down the side of this ramp onto the concrete below with the bike on top of me. Yeah.
Why are we talking about this?
Because I'm accident prone, that's why.
I haven't had an accident.
That's where my kids get it from.
Not me.
Yeah, you all do.
I
I fell down the stairs with you.
Thanks.
You should thank me because I didn't let you go. I took the brunt of it.
Only if you did.
Fortunately, when I slipped, I landed on my behind and my leg. My leg was bent up underneath me at the time. So I just kind of slid down the stairs.
What was it, down these
painfully,
stairs?
yeah.
Oof.
You were about 10 months old, 11 months old.
Let me guess, you were turning that corner, weren't you?
No, I was on my way down. I'd just come round that corner. Because my stairs aren't straight. My stairs have got like a small square landing at the bottom, which you go up a step this way, then you turn that way and you go up a few, and then there's a bend right at the top and you have to go round and up onto the landing. And obviously where it bends, the stairs get narrow on the left-hand side. But I'd just come past that when my foot slipped off the step.
You mean right hand?
No, if you're going up the stairs, the narrow bit's on the left. Don't try and confuse me. But yeah. And then obviously Reese has had his accidents.
His shoulder.
Oh my gosh, he loves bashing his head, he does. When he was two, I believe, he was running around and I said, don't run, you're going to slip, you're going to bang your head. And he carried on going. And he'd run from the living room to the front, from the living room to the kitchen. Anyway, after I told him for about the third time, you're going to fall over and bang your head, he tripped in the kitchen and whacked his head straight on the corner of a wall.
Oh.
He had a whacking dent in his forehead. Took him to A&E. You know what it's like when you're sitting there with your child and they're injured and everyone's looking at you like, I bet you did that to him. You can just feel people looking at you like that. Yeah.
It's not exactly your fault.
It wasn't. It was him completely. Fortunately, the dent in his head didn't stay. And then obviously, like when he was 15, he fell off his bike, knocked himself out, broke his collarbone, had a fit. And then he was told, like, obviously, he'd had such a severe bang to the head, which made him fit, that he needs to be careful. Try not to bang his head. And then after he moved out, he rang me and said him and Courtney had been to some place. I've lost myself. They'd been on these rocks or something. I've missed a stitch. Okay. They'd been on these rocks or something. He'd gone to stand up, whacked his head. And he rang me. He's like, I don't know what to do. Do you feel all right? He says, I feel a bit dizzy. Okay, perhaps you need to ring someone then. Some people never learn.
At that point,
Eh?
when he broke his shoulder bone.
Wasn't he what?
Wasn't Tyler crying?
Yeah, because I had a phone call from the ambulance people.
Well,
We have your son in the back of an ambulance.
That's no good.
That explains why he's not answering his phone.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And he had to stay overnight in hospital because every time he stood up he went dizzy. I don't know.
Get a TV next door.
Can you really? You sure it's not Riley?
I don't know.
My thread's all twisted. Come on.
I always hear him talking upstairs.
No, I've done it the wrong way.
Through the wall.
There we go. I know, and when I say to them, I apologise about the kids being loud, did you hear them? No.
Not at all.
I swear they lie. She laughs and she always tells me, don't worry about it, kids will be kids. She had two boys. And the one day she said they were arguing, fighting, whatever. One ran up the stairs, the other pegged him, and one of them slammed the door on the other one's face. She said, so, you know, don't worry about it.
I've slammed the door and run it on before. That was smart.
Oh my gosh. You've just made me think of when Riley was little and Tyler was at the door.
Oh god.
And for whatever reason, Riley, he was about 18 months. No,
18?
he would have been about 2 years old. No, 18 months. 18 months because he was already walking. And while Tyler was at the door, he went up behind the front door and put his fingers through the gap right as Tyler went to close the door. Holy moly. Oh, his fingers were crushed.
Everyone has that time.
And I was cringing. Just the thought of my fingers being in that door gap. And then Riley's obviously banged his head on my TV unit, cutting his head open. He had to have that glued. My kids are just like walking disasters.
It's not me. I haven't had a...
Don't jinx it. You shouldn't say that, you know.
I haven't yet. It will happen.
It's bound to happen. I mean, even Riley's fell over the end of his bunk bed and he was on the top bunk. For whatever reason, he was crawling on his bed. I don't know.
He was standing up to make his bed or something.
He went to kneel down or something, didn't he? And
Yeah,
he went
he
flying
fell
over the
backwards.
end of the bed. Oh my gosh.
He squished my blooming board game.
We heard the bang from down here, obviously, because their bedroom's right above the front room.
Oh my god.
He broke the tub.
He crushed so much stuff.
He did. But I don't think he was hurt. I think it was just the shock that made him cry.
I don't know. We'll take you back a bit. Bear in mind, you did land on his back.
Yeah. Well, if they're accident prone, I'm sorry to say. It comes from me. It comes from me. I have had my fair share of accidents. I swear they had a bed ready for me in A&E.
I think one of the most worst things Dad's done is always chopped his finger off.
Yeah, when he was slicing that pipe.
That was smart.
He was sawing a pipe, plastic pipe, with a bread knife, I might add.
Just why?
Yeah, why would you even do it with a bread knife?
Oh, no.
And why would you do it just resting on a work surface? Duh. Yeah, and he nearly cut his finger off. But he was like, yeah, it'll be all right, and he bandaged it up himself. All right, then. Do you know what? He didn't do a bad job, because I don't know where it is now. Can't see a scar or nothing. He's lucky, I tell you.
He's done that a few times.
I've got scars left, right and centre. I've got a scar on the back of my calf.
Where's that?
Have you ever... Your calf muscle?
I don't know what that is.
The back of the bottom of your leg.
Back here?
All up the back of the first part of your leg. That's your calf muscle. Well, it's your calf and your calf muscle behind it, whatever.
What, here?
Yeah. No, that's your thigh. Calf is the bottom half at the back. When I was little, pedals weren't made of plastic. They were made of metal. And I don't know if anybody else has done this, but by golly, I've done it a few times. You've stood up and you've gone to pedal and maybe your foot's been wet and your foot slipped off the pedal. And then the pedal's whacked you so hard in the back of the thigh, it dug in. And I had three groove marks. 3 cuts on the back of my calf.
Happened to me ages.
Took ages for them to heal. I can't find where I am now.
Can you ride a bike?
I used to, I can't now. No, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what else I used to do as well. No, don't do that. She'll do that when she's older. Yep.
Do what?
Nothing.
Wanna know?
Mm-mm. Not telling.
I can ride a bike one-handed.
Okay, give me a minute. I've lost my place. Okay, that's there. Which
Just
means
lose your balance
that's
when you ride
there.
one-handed.
You up? You lose what?
You lose your balance. That's what I find with me.
It's practice. But I'd rather you didn't.
Come on then, tell me.
No.
I wanna know.
No.
Why?
Because it's no-handed, but it's a lot worse.
What is it? I wanna know.
No, because you'll go and try it.
I won't.
You will.
I'm not stupid.
You're stupid enough to try no-handed, aren't you?
Huh?
We're all stupid enough to try no-handed on a bike.
I haven't.
I was always out on my bike though, always. Me and my bike went everywhere. If it wasn't my bike, it was my roller boots.
I'm gonna go on my bike.
I won't tell you the amount of times I fell over on my roller boots.
What are roller boots? Them shoes have the wheels on the bottom.
Yeah, no, these are roller boots are proper things. They're not shoes at all. They are these big heavy plastic, though mind you they weren't when I was a kid. They're just these plastic boots with wheels attached. But there's 4 wheels on roller boots, 2 at the front and 2 at the back. And then on the front of the boot you had a stopper. So if you tilted your foot up, it took you off the wheels. The amount of times I fell over on them. Whew. Boy did I bounce. Me and one of my friends at the time, we were under a bridge. There's this bridge that went under a road. It's called an underpass. It went under a road. And there was this path that wound down from the top by the road, down round and under the bridge. She said, come on, we'll go down this hill and under the underpass.
Oh, God.
On our roller boots. I was like, yeah, all right then. I was confident on my skates, I tell you. I shouldn't have been the amount of times I fell over, but anyway, we'd gone down, we'd turned the corner, we were just going under the underpass, and I hit a stone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, your wheels don't like stones.
Or did you just like
So, oh yes, my butt bounced. And then I got up, dusted myself off, and I was like, I'm not doing that again. And my friend at the time, Nina, went, you've got to do it again.
Nina?
Yeah. I went, no, I don't. She says, you do. I said, why? She said, because it's like riding a horse. If you fall off, if you don't get straight back on, you'll never do it again. You've got to go down again. She dragged me to the top of that hill. Lucky to say I didn't fall over that time, but you know, I could have done.
It's just luck. Pure luck.
Yep.
Down.
And then when they started resurfacing all the tarmac around where we lived, it was no longer the smooth tarmac, it was lumpy, horrible stuff. So my roller boots couldn't really be used anymore after that. My mum used to say, I'm going to put you in a bin bag. You're not going anywhere. Sick of you getting hurt. Well, you know.
Everyone gets hurt one time.
We even had a banister in my mum and dad's old house. It's a bit like our banister now. A bit. It's not the same. There was no post at the end.
What, like that square post?
Yeah, there was no post. You just get to the bottom and it'd drop.
Oh.
We used to slide down the banister. We did. Only when my parents weren't at home, because my dad would have gone mad. We were right rebels, I tell you. We were so well behaved in the house because my dad was strict. But if they weren't at home or we'd gone out, totally different story.
That would be the same here. If you and Dad went out for the day, this whole house would be a mess.
Oh, yeah. The house would be a mess. There'd be no food in the fridge. All the junk food would have gone.
The fruit would stay.
The carpets would look like they haven't been hoovered in 10 years. The bedrooms would be trashed.
You won't be able to walk in them.
The beds would look like they hadn't been changed in 5 years. Getting Tyler to change his bedding's a nightmare.
Mm.
You'd think we'd just asked him to give up his Xbox for 3 weeks. It's shocking. Laziness. You don't lie in a dirty bed.
I think Xbox is more important.
Riley's, oh my gosh. It can be the middle of summer and the evenings and the nights are not as warm as the day, but by golly, they're warm. And Riley cannot sleep unless he's got his quilt over his head, looking like...
in a beanbag or something.
Looking like a nun. Do you know what I mean? So when he gets up in the morning, he's got all them white marks all over his pillow from where he's been absolutely drenched in sweat. And I'm like, pull your blanket off. I can't sleep unless it's over my head. I can't fall asleep.
Yeah, but the thing is...
Mother Teresa, that's who I was thinking of.
Faces,
Looks like Mother Teresa.
He faces the door, so there's nothing behind him. I have trouble sleeping with my arms and legs outside the blanket.
Yeah, I can't do that. I feel like someone's going to come along and touch my leg or something. Even at my age of 43, it's not a fear though, is it really? It's just the thought of your leg hanging out. I've just stabbed myself. Ow. Or at least I missed the place. I did it 4 times the other day. Anyway, yeah. It's not a fear of the dark or anything. It's just the thought that someone could come along and touch you while you're asleep. Just...
Not as much arms, but just the legs.
Yeah, I can have my arms out. But you feel more vulnerable when it's your legs. I've just gone through the wrong hole.
Like the blanket's going to protect you.
I know, yeah. Someone wanted to touch you, they'd touch you anyway, do you know what I mean? You think a quilt's going to stop them. But when I was young, there was no lights on in my mum and dad's house. Nighttime was nighttime. Every light in the house was off. So when I needed the toilet in the middle of the... When I needed the toilet in the middle of the night, my bedroom's this end of the landing. The bathroom and the toilet were that end of the landing.
Sprint.
I bloody did. I sprinted across the landing. So silly. When I look back now I just get up and it's like I walk to the toilet with my eyes shut. Ellie asked me the other day, really daft question, but she did. She says, do you ever sit on the toilet in the night with your eyes shut? Personally, no.
I do.
But Rob does.
It keeps you tired. Because otherwise you're going to be fully awake.
Your dad's fell back asleep on the toilet. Because he's got his eyes shut. And 10 minutes later I've gone, love. And he's woke up and come back in and I was asleep on the toilet. I know. Spent the last 10 minutes waiting for you to come back in. That sun. I said it was grey and miserable, but now the sun's blinking out and I can't see a thing.
How can you sleep on the toilet? Just the smell of the toilet isn't very nice. Just sitting there falling asleep.
You're not really focusing on the smell of the toilet though, are you? Not that my toilet smells, guys, but overnight we tell them, if you've only had a wee, don't flush it because you'll just wake everyone up.
The toilet's too loud.
So after, a few have been to the toilet during the night, it can pong a little. But then, like obviously in the morning, it gets flushed and whatever. Keep stretching, it hurts.
Then don't do it.
No, I kind of can't help it. Right, we're going to do a little jump now.
You could do more talking than stitching.
I haven't. I have been doing all right. Where's that? There. Oh, it's only a little jump to there. That's all right then. Whoa, too big. So. I'm going to let you guys go in a minute because I've just realised it's like 45 minutes. And I've managed to fill you in on every major disaster I've ever had. Is that it? Nope. Where am I? Do you ever do that? You do a stitch and then you can't find it. There it is. You can't find where it just was.
Yep.
How can you say yeah?
It's happened before. That's not upstairs.
What's not upstairs? Is it next door? What is it?
TV.
Can't be because they've got a hallway next to our house. That's a hallway.
I can hear it. I'm telling you.
I don't mind. We've got good neighbours.
You should have got loud ones.
Yeah. I don't think I could cope with loud neighbours anymore. It was awful at the old house.
What time did they go to bed?
2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And she had a karaoke machine out on the front lawn the one night. It was about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and she turned it up full blast on the front garden singing. And we were like, oh my God. Reese was only 5.
Read that weekend.
4 or 5, I think he was. No, actually, Reese slept through it.
Deep sleeper.
I know, yeah. Me and your dad were like there, lying there, like, really?
I can sleep through an alarm, I can't.
Really? You sleep through the smoke alarm going off.
Yeah.
Mind you, everyone did. Except me and your dad.
Just too tired.
But it wasn't because of smoke either. I wouldn't have minded if it was. It was them blinking, what we call thunderflies. I don't know if you guys know what they are. They do have another name as well. But they're tiny little things. But apparently they can get in the smoke alarm. And it sets it off. So we have to keep hoovering it every so often just to make sure. Which I haven't done in a while, actually. Perhaps that'd be a good idea.
Why do we have that, like, what is it, that thing?
That reset button on the wall.
Because you can set it off by itself just by that button.
Yeah, that tests it.
That's happened before, hasn't it?
It's an electric smoke alarm, that's why.
Has that happened, or is it just a dream?
What?
Someone standing there and knocking it, the button.
No.
Just a dream.
No one's touched it, I don't think.
Probably just a dream.
Knowing you, yeah.
That's how realistic things are.
Yep. Talking of dreams, I don't even know what was going through my head the other night when I was asleep. Riley came in. He'd been to the toilet. He said, Mum, can you tuck me back in? Oh my God, I think I'm in the wrong place.
Carry on.
And I said...
What, was this in the dream?
No.
Was this just waking?
I've missed a stitch, okay. That's fine. He said, Mum, can you tuck me back in? Now, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said something about downloading. And Riley just looked at me and went, downloading what, Mum? And that's when I properly woke up and I went, nothing, I'm coming. I don't even know what I was dreaming about, but blinking heck, yeah, downloading. Wouldn't be the first time.
I think one of the worst dreams I've had is there was 2 of everyone. There was one, like, normal. There was one, like, evil.
Wow. Funky.
But the fact is, I was sleeping on your bedroom floor at that point.
Alright.
I was just too scared to go anywhere. I still have that dream to this day, you know.
What?
That exact dream.
Oh. Cool.
It's the exact same thing every time. Just always there, like listening.
Anyway, guys. I think I've chunted enough. We're now on nearly 50 minutes.
Come on, say it
Whoopsie.
longer.
No.
You can leave it out.
So, Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up, please. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on Sunday for Floss Tube. Bye, guys.